I've been working all day, but on my way home, of course, I go by the gym and I go by Burlington because it's right there. This video, Banana Republic Grasslands, I think it was 2020 this came out. This video is mainly for women, mostly, and men too, but mainly for women, mostly because there are plenty of men who have reviewed this because of the smell-alikes, which I haven't smelled most of the smell-alikes. Not the green Irish tweed or the others. Although I have smelled cool water, and I will tell you right off the bat, I would never smell this and think, oh, that smells like cool water. I haven't smelled cool water in a long time, but I was born in 76, so I was a teenager in the 90s, and I smelled a lot of cool water, and there's not enough similarity that I would ever just get a whiff of this and think I was smelling cool water. Anyway, so this is for women because if you're like me, you've gotten a lot of the Banana Republic fragrances. Because, yes, we order and buy stuff in other places, but there's just something about the instant gratification when you're shopping or just out and about, and you could just, pick up an expensive fragrance right then and there and sample it. But, the Banana Republics are fairly popular, and I have several of them. This one, the Grassland, has been piquing my curiosity for a long time. I love the color. It's such a pretty color. Um, and many, many times I have stood in Burlington and, looked it up on Fragrantica, watched the guys' reviews, and I just wanted to smell it for myself. And I just thought to myself, okay, it says unisex, and everyone says it leans, it's masculine. But then again, I have the what is it, Black Platinum or the Platinum one. I love that one. Now, to me, that one is totally just like unisex. Sometimes it can lean a little slightly more masculine, sometimes a little slightly more feminine, but I think that one is just very modern, very city, very unisex, and tasteful too. I really like that one. But Banana Republic is tripping with some of their fragrances, calling them unisex because, like, for example, the Velvet Pomegranate. I have that. I've got many. I'm just tired. I don't feel like pulling them all out tonight, but I've got the videos on them. The pomegranate one clearly, clearly leans feminine. Okay, ladies, before I totally discourage you, let me be very forthright. The dudes aren't lying. This is this is a more masculine fragrance, but unless it can be layered, um, unless you just want to smell fresh and clean, and maybe mist it on lightly and then do something else with yourself throughout the day, or just smell fresh and super fresh and clean in general, then in that sense it's unisex. But even then, still, this leans masculine. Now, some people try to deny that this smells like Irish Spring, but this largely smells like Irish Spring soap. And on top of that, I think this is one of the stronger of the Banana Republic fragrances. It's one of the ones that's stronger. It's not that it has some big scent trail or projection, but its presence on you is strong, or at least on my skin. I think this is one that must be very sensitive to people's chemistry. I mean, all fragrances, but some more than others. Because I've, like I said, I've looked it up many times, and the videos, and reading on Fragrantica and other places. Some people pick up some things, or say they do, that I really just don't pick up. Like, we can go over the notes, which we will. But ladies, before, I'm just letting you know, because I know you probably walked around curious and probably eyeballed it yourself many times and thought to yourself, oh, is this one of those ones everybody says leans masculine, but really, um, a woman can pull it off, or it's more unisex? No, I'm being honest with you. This is definitely more masculine. And like I said, the Irish Spring soap. But I did experiment with layering, but before I go into just with some cheapy stuff because I'm tired and I'm not gonna play around with pulling out anything more pricey just to play with layering with this before I go to bed. But the notes, which I'm sure you've all looked them up, I'll just tell you what I could smell. So it says it has the top notes of mint, apple, bergamot, uh, pomelo. How do you say that? First of all, pomelo, I guess. Citrus. And then middle notes of lavender, ozonic notes, geranium, petitgrain, and base notes of ambergris, moss, sandalwood, patchouli, and vanilla. First of all, to me, this isn't even really minty. Like, I know what mint smells like, and this doesn't smell minty. It may be a support note, but they say it's a top note, and if it is, it's like in the sense of, like, for example, if you go and say you just go in the entrance of a hotel and they have the mint lemonade there for you, mint lemonade doesn't really smell like mint. Not to me anyway, unless they've really loaded up with loads of mint. Apple, I don't smell apple. I know what apple smells like. I think apple may be a supporting note more than a top present note. Like maybe if you were to take like something to shave off the skin, maybe the greenness of the skin of the apple, maybe, but this is not apple-y or green apple-y. Um, the bergamot and whatever. Why am I forgetting how to say that word? Oops. Pomelo. Forgive me, y'all. Plus, I'm tired, and I am kind of irritated today. I'm irritated with something about work. But so you heard me read the notes, but let me tell you what I do smell. A lot of lavender, a lot of the petitgrain, and geranium. Mostly, and this goes through a little stage after you spray it where you really, really smell the lavender. But I think that combo. Okay, but the base notes are ambergris, moss, sandalwood, patchouli, and vanilla. Mostly this is like the lavender, geranium, and petitgrain. I guess the mint could be in there just as supporting. The apple could just be supporting the citrusy because petitgrain is like, bitter, citrusy, woody, I believe, and that's how I smell it. And I think that's what it is. Ambergris, yeah, I mean there could be some level of like damp saltiness which goes with the moss, but that's all overshadowed by the lavender, geranium, and petitgrain. Patchouli and the dry down, you would get the green patchouli. And vanilla, I do not smell. Vanilla must just be there as a toner. Maybe it acts to tone down some of the greenness, sort of the. I saw somebody on Fragrantica say this could have a little bit of a scratchiness to it. I could sort of get what they're saying by that because it's not necessarily super sharp or anything, but and then some people saying, well, it's like a fougere and barbershop and dries down to like a shaving cream. My ears ringing too. Oh. And yeah, kind of it does. But I will tell you this, like directly on my skin, I do get a lot of that lavender, and then I just get like a lot of Irish Spring. However, when I spray it on fabric, I still get that, but I do get a bit more of the citrusiness in fruit. It's not straight citrus, but I pick up on the um, the citrus aspect of it, and the it's heavily lavender though, y'all, to me, and lavender in a male sense. So that's just like the straight up truth about that. And not that it's a bad thing. I don't mean to say it like that's the truth. I'm sorry. It's horrible. It's not that it's horrible, but it's masculine. Now, some of the cheap stuff that I just grabbed, like I thought to myself, I'll just play around with it with cheap stuff. I will say that I think this goes well with the iris note. I saw a lady on Fragrantica say that these 7 days a week, 12 plus hours a day are starting to get to me. Um, for actually we had time off because it was pouring down raining, so that was the first time in over a month. But anyways, somebody said on Fragrantica they were going to try to layer it with citrusy fragrances that they had. I think that if you did that, it might just become sharp, and maybe just even more masculine. So I grabbed this Five Below Glossy AU because you know I've done videos on Five Below um, fragrances, and this, um, it's a dupe Glossy AU, which has the iris. This actually smells good with it. Also, actually, and then it made me think of Bath and Body because I really love Butterfly by Bath and Body, which has iris, and this actually blends nicely with it. Because this has got the iris petals and vanilla and raspberry. So then I played around with my spraying stuff on my pig. I still love the colors of this. And like I said, I mean, if you just want to smell like you've done lathered up with Irish Spring, or maybe you could use it like even in your hair to be all clean, or some of the guys said they could use it at the gym. Actually, a lot of the guys say that this is for men, very appropriate, not only for like the office, just to be, nice, clean scent, but also it does have it has a certain elegance about it, where you could wear it in more serious or more even dressy environments because it's clean, and it is Irish soapy, but it does have like a little lift to it and that lavenderiness to it, which gives it like I don't know, a little bit of like elegance along with the Irish Spring. Um, but yeah, I just whoever like handles like putting together the marketing and approving like what's marketed for who, I know they must be giggling to themselves because this clearly uh, is masculine, just like the Velvet Pomegranate. Um, yeah, guys could pull that off, but it's clearly feminine. And the tuberose overdose is unisex. Like I used to think when I first got it that it was more feminine, but I've had it for quite a while now, and the wood is more prominent, and it definitely has a masculinity to it. Maybe this will change, or maybe I'll smell it in different temperature or something. I mean, right now we were having warm weather in November with a bunch of cold previously, then warm. Now it's like real cold in the morning and in the 60s during the day. So I don't know, but it sure is a pretty color. So it smells good with the iris note if you want to layer it. And also then, so I got my pig, which by the way, I'm wearing one of those southern shirts, and I don't feel like trying to show the back of this one, but I love pigs, and there's a pig on the back of this one. I love it. But anyhow, I love this pig. So I sprayed the pig's nose. I sprayed each leg also, but the pig's nose is just grassland. And you know what, like right now, um, this isn't like just like straight men's barbershop cologne. On the materials of the pig, this is less like super masculine, and it is elegant smelling actually and clean, and it's been drying down now for about 30 minutes. It's not so overwhelmingly lavender. Maybe that vanilla that's in the base is smoothing things out. Maybe I'm starting to get like barely just like clues of vanilla. Not even vanilla, but clues of it. Just it's a bit softer. Not soft, not like softer lavender, but just softer as a fragrance. I don't know. I got so much stuff going on. So, um, I need some coffee. So, on his front right paw or hoof, I sprayed on top of Grasslands this Sand and Fog white vanilla. And this is actually a pleasant smell together, these two. but it's not necessarily a man's or a woman's perfume smell. It's more like almost like an aromatherapy type smell. Like you would have like the sweetness with the lavender. Like I almost feel like this is a green fragrance though, because it does have that vetiver and not vetiver, the moss and the anyhow with this yeah, those two have like an aromatherapy. Like if you were to, I don't know, choose to have some aromatherapy along with a massage session, like anybody could have this type of smell on them, and it's just kind of soothing and pleasant. Those two paired together. And then um, I was just experimenting, like trying to sweeten it up and make it more feminine. On his left side, it has grasslands and where'd it go? And the Mimic 108, which is the Kayali rock candy or candy rock sugar or something. I always get those, the order of those mixed up. So I thought, okay, that'll be really sweet and like girly. Um, I mean, that's interesting, but it doesn't quite work together. It's almost fighting each other. Yeah, it's almost like they're just in conflict. Not total conflict, but it's just not. It's not complementary to each other. However, on his back left side, this is interesting because the back left, I have not reviewed this one yet, but it is Jane Seymour, which she's a lovely actress. And I was really curious about her fragrance when I saw it. I think I got this for like $10, $10 or $15. And I need to review this. I actually like the bottle. The bottle's heavy and the cap's on there good. However, a lot of people complain about the cap breaking, and I'll show you when I review it why. So you still, even though it's on there good and it's a nice heavy bottle, you got to be careful not to press and like break that part. Um, but that's, I guess, like jewelry, like one of those heavy, the shape of those things type of thing on your necklace or something. But like some type of locket type. Anyhow, that's that. Well, I really like Jane Seymour. She just seems like one of those like very feminine, like romantic type ladies. By the way, the box to that looks like this. You know, we've all seen those jewelries shaped like that. And it's called Her Open Heart. Um, Now on that one, that's got pear and some, I think, orchid and peony, and it doesn't have a lot of heavy bass notes to it at all. It doesn't really have any bass notes. It has listed. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, it has osmanthus in it, and when I spray this by itself, I get a lot of that osmanthus in this. But it doesn't really have a whole lot grounding it. I'll have to review this later, but think about the pear and the orchid and the peony and osmanthus. And I think it has, I'm trying to think what it has as base. It has no real heavy, like solid base to it, but probably musk or. Anyways, what's interesting, now this smells nice with the grassland. And it could be like a really nice unisex smell. That's interesting, that combination. I feel like a man or a woman, it has masculine and feminine, that blend of these two. And the reason I find that interesting is because, and y'all, I'm charging vapes and stuff on my bed, so for tomorrow, and backup battery for my phone. But that's interesting, these two together. And the reason that is because Jane Seymour also has the men's fragrance called Open Heart. Like the women's is Her Open Heart, the men's is Open Heart. And I forget all the notes in it, but I know it has, like for granted, it just lists two notes, which is lavender and sea notes. but then when you look it up elsewhere, it has more notes than that. But she says somewhere, I either read it or she was talking about it on a video that I watched, but the two fragrances that she created, her Open Heart and the men's one, which is Open Heart, are meant to smell complementary when around each other. So she's like, when a man and woman, the man and woman are like around each other, like walking together, the fragrances complement each other. So the man's version, Open Heart, it has lavender. It's lavender and sea notes is what Fragrantica lists. So this definitely is big time lavender in a masculine way. But so these two together actually uh, layered. It's a really nice effect. And I don't even want to say it's more masculine or feminine, but it's pretty. It's pretty. You could say, like, a man could pull this off, and definitely a woman. So, because I sprayed this on the top of grassland, so it's definitely more of that right now. But these interestingly complement each other. And last but not least, I was just grabbing about whatever little cheapies, and I sprayed Diamonds and Sapphires by Elizabeth Taylor, which I think y'all know if you see my videos. I can't stand the original White Diamonds, although it remains a top seller. An absolute top seller. That in Chanel No. 5, I think. Is that what it is? That's the top seller. Anyhow, the original White Diamonds to this day is like a top seller. And, you know, wonderful for those who love it. That's one of the few fragrances I cannot do or even be around, which is rare for me. That and Samsara. Samsara will give me an instant migraine. Instant. But anyways, I love Elizabeth Taylor as a person. Beautiful, beautiful outside and inside. But anyhow, so the Diamonds and Sapphires, if you guys don't already know, is sort of a melon fragrance, and it's got some animalic notes to it too in the dry down. But so I thought, okay, let's see what the melon would smell like with it. The melon and floral, and it's not horrible, but together with that grasslands, but it almost just gives me like carpet cleaner vibes together, or like you've just somebody just detailed your car or something, or like, you know, when you get a rental car and they've done put that shampoo perfume or something, carpet perfume. It's not totally that, but at this moment, after smelling so many things, that's just kind of the. Don't get me wrong. This. I'm not judging this by itself or the other by itself, but that combo. Mm-mm. So I was just trying to see what would. I'm not saying you had to use these ones, but the different various notes in these cheapies, what would complement and make it more feminine if you happen to purchase it, or if you just want to be smelling like I said, it really is less fougere, men's fougere, when it's just on the fabric of this pig, but definitely on skin. People can deny that it smells like Irish Spring. Yes, it does smell like Irish Spring, and it's strong on the skin, directly, at least directly on my skin. But it layers really nicely and is feminine for or with iris for some reason. It does good with that. I'm sure with the real Glossy AU, not that Five Below dupe, but and even with this butterfly, and it smells good with in a very just like relaxing kind of way with this Sand and Fog White Vanilla, which this is very sweet. If you don't already know, very very sweet. But yeah, that has the Yeah, almost like an aromatherapy type of vibe. So yeah, I don't know. Yes, I'm rambling. I'm just kind of de-stress rambling. And I wanted to put a video out there for women about this one. I like a lot of Banana Republic fragrances. Tuberose Overdose is, I swear mine's gotten much stronger since I don't know how long I've had it now, over a year. Um, and the Black Platinum I love. And the Velvet Pomegranate is a bit strong. I like it. It's feminine. Men could pull it off, but it's clearly a feminine leaning fragrance. And the Tobacco and Tonka surprised me because I had so much like people talking about it. I for the longest time I didn't buy it, but I got it and it's a really pleasant, it's elegant smell, and I really get the coconut in it too, so I like that one. What else do I have? I have several of them. I know, oh, the peony and peppercorn, which I think will be great on men in the spring. Yes, that one's unisex, but to me, that's a fresh, peppery, but not heavy. I would like it more peppery, but that is a nice, fresh, probably more springtime rose for men. And I really want to get the gardenia one, but anyways, yeah. But yeah, if you do just want to smell like super Irish springy, not just that, but when people say that, that should give you a good enough idea. All right, see you soon. Wish me luck with resolving my issue at work, and I'll see y'all soon. Have a good night or a good day.